Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unstoppable You podcast with Evelyn Kelly. I'm your host, Evie, life and confidence coach and business mentor. And I'm excited to be here with you all today. Thank you for tuning in, for listening in wherever you're listening or watching over on YouTube. Hi. It is so good to be here. It is beautiful springtime here in New Zealand, where I'm from, where I'm recording from. And it's that time of year when it feels like things are manifesting, things are creating, life's like nature's starting to bloom and come into new growth and new season. And it's a really exciting time. So I'm excited for today's podcast episode. I realized just the other day, actually, I had an email from the coaching academy that I trained from, and I realized that, anyway, one thing led to another, but I realized I graduated as a coach, as a certified life coach 7 years ago, or just over 7 years ago. It would have been 7 years back in August. So we're a month late, but never mind. And I was like, wow, that's such a long time to be coaching for that long and to be in business that long. And anyway, I thought it would be a really fun episode to do 7 lessons in my 7 years of business. Now, these are concepts and ideas and principles, I guess, that I don't think will ever go out of fashion, that I think are quite universal, no matter what area of life you want to apply this to, or your own unique business. I think these are always really fascinating and interesting podcast episodes, personally, like the more personal behind the scenes stuff. But also I feel like there's so many nuggets of wisdom in here that I think you'll love and apply to lots of different things in your life and your business. So stay tuned. I'm excited for this one. Now, there are just a couple of spaces left to work with me, and I'm doing a handful of one-off strategy calls at the side of my maternity leave. So if you're listening to this at the time of recording of this podcast episode and you're keen to work with me in a one-to-one capacity, either through one-to-one life coaching or one-to-one business coaching, or a blend of the two, of course, then do reach out, send me an email, hit me up in DMs and Instagram. I'll share all the links and information in the show notes and the description below. But if you want to grab one of those one-off strategy calls, would love to support you, would love to breathe some more soul essence back into your business, into your life, etc. So let me know. All right, my loves, let's dive in. So 7 lessons in 7 years of business. Now, I have a quote for you today, and it goes like this. This is my beautiful quote. And it kind of relates to one of the lessons that I'm going to talk about today, but I think it's a really great standalone quote. I don't know who said it, but it really resonated with me. Success isn't about strategy. It's about who you become. Success isn't about strategy, it's about who you become. I mean, obviously, strategy is a part of it, sure, but it's like a really small part. I think more importantly, it's about who you become in the journey of that goal, in the pursuit of that success, or whatever that looks like for you on your terms and your vision. And I really believe it's about who you become, and having the ability to lead the way that you want to lead, to have the capacity to hold that, to be at that vibrational level, to manifest and create that and hold that, like no matter what version of success that looks like for you, whether that's financial, whether that's amount of clients, whether that's the impact, whether that's the reach, whether that's the opportunities, whatever. Like there's so many different ways you can look at success and define it in your own way. But no matter what, I really believe that it's who you become in the process that is far more important than the actual outcome, let's face it. But also that, no amount of strategy is going to overcome or replace the inner work that you need to do along the way in order to become the person that has and holds that version of success, or that level of success that you're really after. So that's my first quote for today. Now, I've jotted down my list of lessons. Obviously, I needed to prep for this one somewhat. So I've written them down. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I've got them all written down on my piece of paper. So number 1 lesson, and this is in no particular order of importance, they're just the way that they came to mind for me, but I also feel like this is a really important one, and one that I think needs to be number 1. And that is this: you have to go first. You have to go first. And it's so frustrating, I think, especially when we're nervous, when we're worried about business, when we're worried about putting ourselves out there and what are people going to think and how am I going to do this and all of the stuff that comes, I think, initially when you're starting out in business, and especially if you're a coach or a space holder or a service provider, you've got an online business, you're a personal brand, etc. And many of you will relate to this if you're listening here to the podcast. But you really do have to go first. And it's annoying because I think, and I certainly remember this, certainly remember this growing up, but I certainly remember this in business as well, of like wanting someone else to give me permission or wanting someone else to be like, yes, you're meant to do this, go for it. Like, this is how you do it. Or, just that real push, I think. But oftentimes that doesn't necessarily come externally, and you have to go first and you have to be the one that does it, right? And I think this also applies at every stage in business, at every level, and also in other areas of your life, no matter what goal it is, right? Is that we often wait for permission or wait for approval or wait for someone, to tell you that you're ready, or someone to be like, hey, here's this opportunity, you're going to fit in here and this is going to be great, and it all to be handed to you on a silver platter. But life doesn't work that way. Business doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. It's an internal job. And so we have to be the ones to go first. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait until you're quote unquote ready, or you have the perfect website or strategy or the perfect circumstances or capacity or whatever it might be. Insert your word there that you're waiting on or hoping that's going to come. Because, like, I hate to burst your bubble here, but it's likely not going to come. We're always going to feel an element of unreadiness, or always going to feel like there's a leap to take here. And that's part of it. And that's so important. And I think we have to be brave enough. We have to take that courageous action. We have to we have to run into the fire essentially and do the hard stuff, to go first, to be that person, because that is the only way that you're going to do it. That is the only way. So, and the best way. So you have to go first, and just remember that when you're shying away or you're waiting for opportunities or you're kind of taking a backseat in your business. Maybe this is even relevant for you right now, and maybe it's a good little nudge and reminder, if you're even years into your business like I am, that I still think this applies, is that, if you're waiting for things to shift and change, or waiting for more clients, or waiting for the next opportunity, or waiting for the next up level, whatever, next iteration of your work, of your business, then sure, we don't want to force and push things all of the time. And so much of this is about, is about alignment, and is about, waiting on the right time sometimes, and knowing when to act and knowing when to pull back and knowing when to run, etc. However, you still have to be the one to go first. No one's going to give it to you on a silver platter. And I think this is really important. If you want change, if you want something different, if you want to pivot, if you want to do all these things, we can't necessarily just wait for the universe to provide all of the time. We have to still show up and play our part. Yeah. We still have to go first and make that known that we want those things. Put out that energy, take the courageous, aligned action towards it, and then deeply trusting in that process as well, obviously. So that's my first one. You have to go first. A hard-hitting truth. Okay, the second one is about resilience. I feel like we have to talk about resilience when it comes to any kind of personal development work, or personal development work, or growth in any way, and especially when it comes to going after your dreams, especially when it comes to your business and growing your soul-led business. So you have to show up for your dream and your vision over and over and over and over and over again. And resilience is growing in the thick of it. Resilience is growing in the thick of it. And I just think back to, how business was 7 years ago when I first graduated. I think about how the online space was 7 years ago. I think about social media and the platforms that were even available back then, and how they were, the functionality of them and how people use them is wildly different to how it is now. 7 years on. And so things are going to change around you. The online landscape's going to change. AI is obviously now a big thing, is going to probably change even more in the coming years. People will change, the situations will change, your life will change, the online space will change, business might change a wee bit as well over that time, social media certainly. And so you have to show up for your dream and your vision over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you need to keep that passion and that purpose alive within yourself, and let that be your driving force. Let the love, let the passion, let the purpose, let the service, the mission or the vision that you have that's greater than yourself be the thing that fuels you to show up consistently for your dream and your vision. This is not a one and done thing. This is not a I'm going to take one courageous action and put myself out there, or start my YouTube channel, or make my website live, or launch this product or this offer or this service, and then that's it. And I'm just going to create this perfect funnel and it's going to work itself. That's not how business works, and that's not how success works. You have to show up for it over and over and over and over and over again. And so things are going to change and shift in your external environment, in the online space, in the climate, in the environment, etc. And you have to be the one that is fueling the fire, is putting in the work, is showing up for it. And so part of this lesson that I really wanted to speak to is resilience, and growing that in the doing. It's not like you can, get resilience overnight. It's one of those things that's earned over time, that, you continuing to show up for it, and showing up even when it doesn't feel great, even when you're not seeing immediate results, even when, it's not like the shiny Pinterest board, vision board lifestyle that you're really wanting. Even when you're in the thick of it, growing it and showing up for it. You're the one that needs to do that and drive that forward from love, from service, from passion, from purpose, from that beautiful bigger mission or service that you have, or desire that you have for service. And also that is where the resilience really starts to kick in, and that's where you learn it and you start to build that. And that is such an invaluable gift, I think, for so much in life. Yeah. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. That's a part of the journey. It's not always going to be, hitting the figures that you really want, or the growth metrics, or the opportunities, or feeling amazing, or always feeling super inspired and super excited and all of these things. It's not always going to be that way. I think that's just part of being human and part of the human experience. However, I think it is your job to stimulate that excitement and stimulate that and that inspiration. I remember my coach at the time, some years ago now, shared this with me of I wasn't feeling super excited in my launch. And it was how do you keep showing up when you're not seeing the results and you're oh, and you're having some wobbles? It's you have to create the excitement for this. You have to shift your energy, or you have to realign, or make your vision forefront of mind, that enables you to create and stimulate more of that excitement, more of that inspiration from the inside out. Yeah, it's you have to shift that energy and shift your vibration, or shift your energy to create new energy, of the energy that you're really wanting to. And so it is our jobs to show up consistently for it over and over and over again, build that resilience in the trenches, in the doing, and to be fueled by something that's greater than just you, or greater than just a financial goal, or greater than just a success metric of some sort. It's having something that really deeply matters to you. It's about meaning, it's about service, it's about purpose. And if you're leading from that place, and if you're here creating a business with soul, then you'll know exactly what I mean by this, and you'll be absolutely in the right place. But really ramp that up, connect back with that often. And I think that that's going to be such a huge key to your success and the longevity of your business ultimately. So that's number 2. Number three, learn really good business. So learn the marketing, learn the sales strategy, learn systems, learn about operations, learn about online business, but apply it to you. And this kind of also links to my fourth lesson, which is your authenticity, your soul gifts are your greatest assets, marketing tools, and offers. Like, you are the business. Your authenticity, your soul gifts is so magical, is the offer, is the gift. And so, yes, when you're starting out, come back to lesson 3 about learning good business, but applying it to you. What I see people going wrong, and what I have seen online, is there's so much information out there, right, about like, oh, you should do this strategy, or you should do this thing, or this is the right marketing way, or you need this and this and this to be successful in online business, right? Like, there's lots of information, and you want to learn the basics of it. Like, you want to learn some good strategies, you want to learn some really good foundations for your business. And I would absolutely invest in that in the start, especially if you're not coming from a business experienced background. Then I would absolutely start to invest in some of that. But the key to this is applying it to yourself. So a course about business, or asking ChatGPT about marketing, or Googling something, or attending a one-off masterclass about sales or something, or creating a sales funnels, or about ads, or whatever. Like, all of that stuff is great, but it's not enough. It really needs to be applied to you. It really needs to be personalized, and that's where it's successful. Because if there's so much information out there, and a lot of it won't apply for you. And yes, we want to learn core skills and core foundations in business. Like, you can't beat around the bush there. You do need to do certain things in business to be successful. However, if we're just doing like a cookie cutter thing, or you're doing something because someone told you on Instagram, or because you attended one free live webinar or masterclass and you thought that was like the key to success because they've created success from that, does not necessarily mean that that's going to be successful for you. And it really means that you need to apply it to you and your unique skill set, your capacity, your business, your gifts, your ideal clients, your offers, etc. Like, business is this really beautiful puzzle piece, and we've got some of like the strategies, and like marketing tools and systems are like some of the vehicles that are going to help you get there. But we've got to put this beautiful puzzle piece together, right? And I really believe when you blend like your gifts, your authentic magic, like your soul gifts, your authentic magic, your authenticity, and also couple it with really good strategy that's applied to your ideal clients and your unique offer, then that's the winning combo. So it's not just one in isolation, and it's not just like learning all the cookie cutter things or the rules, quote unquote, to marketing and business, and then somehow running with that. It's really about applying it to you. And I think that that's where like one-to-one coaching, or some kind of like closeness, maybe it's in a mastermind as well, for example, that has a one-to-one element, or a really close element to the coach or the mentor for you, that's going to be able to teach you those things, yes, but applying it to you and your unique business. That is, I think, the biggest lesson that I've learned over time, is that like, I can learn all of the business stuff, but if I don't apply it to me, then it's useless. Like, it doesn't matter. And also, someone might be saying to do it in a certain way, but if it doesn't resonate with you, and if it doesn't really allow you to shine in your authentic magic, then it's not really going to work. So remember this online when you get shiny object syndrome, or there's someone preaching one particular way, or you're thinking that you have to learn all of the things for business and have a bloody business degree or a marketing degree. You don't. You don't. Learn some core skills. Yes, you learn some foundations, but apply it to you. Okay, so now I alluded to the fact of this next one. Number 4 is your authenticity, your soul's gifts is magical, is enough, is the essence of you and your business and of your work. It's a big part of your personal brand, and it is so crucial. It is so crucial. It is going to be your greatest asset. It's going to be your greatest marketing tool, and it's going to be your greatest strategy. So we need to zoom in, highlight, maybe even learn and fully own your soul gifts and your true authentic expression. and your true authentic magic, I like to call it, so that we can really shine a light on that. So that can be forefront in your business. And do you know what? It's like one of the easiest things and also sometimes the hardest thing to do in business. It's like to be your most authentic self, just to be yourself, to be your true self online, to share like your energy, your essence, the way you speak, the words that you want to share, your message, your voice, all of those sorts of things. It is actually one of the easiest things when you allow yourself to do it. But sometimes we have a few layers to peel back or to let go of, or to allow ourselves to be our most authentic selves online. And I get it. There will be some of you that get caught up in comparisonitis. There'll be some of you that get crippled by the fear of rejection or people not approving of you, or the naysayers, or any kind of online negativity towards you and your authenticity. There will be some fears around that, and there will be some thoughts, I'm sure, that and some feelings that many of you will have and experience from time to time in your business. And that I totally get it. I get it. And that's why sometimes it's like the hardest thing to do, because we're so scared of rejection, or scared of people not approving of us, or scared of being abandoned or rejected in some way, or criticized, etc. Like I really do get that on a personal level. I've journeyed through this myself, versions of it. And coached many other humans through this, business owners, coaches, space holders, etc. And it is your job to do that work, though, so that you can allow yourself to be your most authentic self online, to allow your soul gifts, like to really own and embrace your soul gifts. Oh my goodness, that is the most magnetic thing ever. When someone is standing in their power and their truth, when they're like, I'm unapologetically myself, this is me, like I'm sharing my true self online, it is the most beautiful thing for you, and so freeing, and so easeful. It's you. Yeah. And it's the most magnetic thing and the most beautiful thing to witness, I believe. I truly believe. It's so beautiful. Like you just feel people's magnetic energy when they're showing up and being them true to themselves, being who they really are, and sharing their unique gifts, the gifts that only they have. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing. So just remember that is going to be your greatest marketing tool. You showing up on Instagram stories, doing videos, going on podcasts, creating YouTube videos, like whatever it is that you're creating, or the content. If you're in your authentic magic, if you're sharing your voice, if you're sharing your essence, your energy, and being true to who you truly are, that is so beautiful and a wonderful magnetic marketing tool. It's also really easeful in terms of content, because it's like, what do I say? Well, what do I feel called to say right now? What would my higher self say? What would my most authentic self say? What if I, didn't feel like I had to be censored in any way? What would I come on Instagram and talk about? Or what would I share on a podcast episode? Or would I share parts of my journey and parts of myself online, etc.? So remember, that's your greatest marketing tool. And really it's essentially your offer as well. It's essentially like your energy, who you truly are, like your passions, your energy, your love, like that is really your offer. So I talked about this recently, where it like your offer, yes, is like the exact offer that you're doing. Maybe it's one-to-one coaching, maybe it's a mastermind, maybe it's a product, maybe it's some kind of service, maybe it's some kind of consulting, maybe whatever. Yes, that is technically your offer. But people aren't just buying your products and your services, they're buying you as well. They're buying that energy from you. They're buying the way that you do it. And so that is so crucial to remember. So like dialing in on your authenticity, owning and really really valuing and owning the worth and the value there is in your essence and your lived experience and your thought leadership and your sacred space holding, like all of those wonderful things. Like that is essentially your offer. So dial up the authenticity, embrace, own it, fully share it, claim it, and let that let that guide you in business. Let that be one of your greatest assets and tools. It's going to support you so, so much. Okay, one of my favorites, which comes back to the beautiful quote that I shared earlier. Continue to do work on yourself. Like, doing the inner work is crucial in business. No amount of strategy, no amount of good business strategy is ever going to trump inner work. If you don't believe that you're worthy to hold that level of abundance, for example, it ain't gonna work. If you don't believe that you should be on those stages, if you should be taking those opportunities, if you should be creating a podcast or putting your voice out there or whatever, there's so many different stories and layers to this because we're these beautiful, complex, messy humans, me included. And I love that about you. I love that about me. And it just means that the more committed you are to your own growth as a human, that is going to support you in business tenfold. I'm about to do a sacred leadership experience course, coaching experience. I'm so excited for this. And so much of this I see as me devoting back to me and my inner work, and knowing that the more I give to myself, the more I give to my clients ultimately. The more I give to myself, the more I give to my business and my leadership. And my leadership is not necessarily about me, no, but I am only as good a space holder. I am only as good a service provider. I am only as good a coach. I am only as good a leader as the level of my own inner growth, as my own self-awareness, as my own levels of worthiness and value and confidence and all of those sorts of things, my level of receivership and capacity to hold impact, abundance, service, clients, etc. And so doing the inner work is so important, Don't think that you can only, invest in a quote unquote business coach or, this perfect business strategy or this next system or this next tool that's going to unlock your next level of business. That may well be true and supportive at times in your business, but don't forget to do the inner work along the way as well, so that you can have and hold those things, so that when those opportunities arise, you're not going to reject them. So you're going to fully own and claim them and go after them, so that you're going to be able to hold that level of abundance, so that you're going to be able to serve from that beautiful level of wholeness, beautiful space of wholeness, and really be the greatest space holder, coach, service provider, consultant that you possibly can be. And I really believe that is such a huge key to my success and a huge key to everyone's success, is if you're really good at what it is that you do, if you have an exceptional service and offer and you're doing such a great job and you're so devoted to your up leveling of your skills, your space holding, etc., then that is going to give you the raving customers and clients, going to give you some beautiful testimonials and feedback. They're going to refer their friends and things. They're going to become clients, etc. Word of mouth is just that's such a great business strategy. But that only comes if you're really good at what you do. And you're only really good at what you do is you've devoted to that, of up leveling, of deepening your skills and your skills, and also making sure that you personally are so supported and held and doing the inner work, doing whatever it is that you need to do personally on more of that personal level that's going to really support you to show up as the coach, the space holder, the leader that you are, to deliver those exceptional services and to create that vision, to create that level of impact and income that you really want through your soul work, through your business. So make sure you're doing the inner work as you're doing the outer work. Don't just get caught up in strategy and learning the external things. Make sure it's also paired with some really beautiful inner work that's going to support you so much as the human that you are, that's going to feed into your business in the most divine, beautiful, sustainable way. So keep doing the work on yourself. Remember that beautiful quote that I shared at the start: success isn't about strategy. It's about who you become. I think actually more so is about who you become in that process, as opposed to the perfect quote unquote strategy. And that's all about you being so committed to your own personal development and own growth and doing that inner work along the way. I feel like that's also like related to life as well, not just business and entrepreneurship. Already, I kind of touched on this concept a little earlier, but I really believe that I want to elaborate on this one a whole lot more. So what number are we up to? Fifth? No, sixth one. Sixth lesson is business your way. Business your way. So I talked a little bit about this, about there's like no one perfect business model or business strategy that is the key to success. There is no just one way. And I really believe that the best way in business is your way. And what I mean by business your way is really making sure we're weaving in your authenticity, as I mentioned earlier. But it's really about creating a business that allows you to thrive as a human as well, and that supports you in the season of life that you're in. And that has been such a big lesson for me personally over the while, as my life has changed so much in the last few years. Especially one of the huge things was obviously becoming a mother of one, and then soon to be a mother of two, which is going to shift things yet again. And I think the key to all of this, and what I've learned along the way, especially but for sustainable business, is to make sure that we're evolving and growing our businesses in a way that really aligns to us, that really allows us to thrive as a human, and that really allows and supports the season of life that we're in, the capacity that we have in that season, and the values and what that looks like for you, and full permission for that to tweak and change over the time. Like, that's totally fine. And in fact, that's really normal for us to go through these different seasons and for your business to look slightly different through those seasons. It doesn't necessarily mean big drastic changes. For some people, it is a little bit more significant changes than others, and that's totally fine. There's no right and wrong here. But the key thing is just allowing yourself to evolve your business as your life evolves, as you need to, and for you. Like, your business should work for you. Right? Like, that's what I mean by business your way. It's like, we didn't create these businesses for the sake of creating these businesses, right? Like, it matters so much more than that. Like, there's deep service and meaning and purpose and the impact that you really want to have, the positive change that you want to have. But also, it's about you and supporting you, the lifestyle that you really want as well. And so that's really important. That's really important to take into consideration, and I think is key to the sustainability of your business over a long period of time. And for me, certainly, like, I'm in it for the long haul, right? So this is not about like creating the perfect business for this particular season of my life or this 1 year and it's going to stay the same forever. No way. Like, my business now looks wildly different to what it did a couple of years ago when I was full-time and pre-kids, etc. So it's really important to remember that and just allow that to change and evolve as you grow and change and evolve, and to really support you to thrive in different seasons of your life. So remembering that it should be like business your way, in that you want it to serve you, and also that there's no cookie cutter one way in business. The best way is when you're weaving in your authenticity. And remember, like, people will tell you, oh, the number one strategy is this, or you have to be doing the sales funnel to get in, X amount of money or whatever, X amount of clients. Like, people will always speak to, oh, you must do a mastermind, or you must do this, or you shouldn't do one-to-one, or you must have a podcast, or whatever. Like, that's all just marketing, remember, people. And there's like, all the strategies work if you work them. All the strategies work if you work them. And yeah. And so you've got to choose what works best for you personally, that allows your soul gifts to shine through, that allows your authenticity to shine through, that you could work in a way that, you really works for you, where you get to really shine and thrive. And also that it's aligned to your ideal clients. Like I said earlier, the winning combo is when it's like you and your authenticity, the way that you work really well, really shining a light on your soul gifts, that's aligned with your ideal clients somewhat, and that aligns with your offer, with how you want to serve, etc. So yeah, just remember those trends will come and go, or one person will be preaching one way of business or one way in marketing, and there's truth in all of that, and they all work if you work them. And so your key is really applying it to you, yes, and making sure it's yours, and full permission for it to evolve and change over time to really support you to thrive as a human. Okay, and we're up to the lucky last lesson. Number 7 is to stay in the game. Stay in the game. Like business, like play the long game. Business is about the long game, right? Stay in the game. I have seen businesses come and go. In my line of work, in online business and coaching and space holding and online business, I've also seen it in the retail space when obviously we have our beautiful shop, Brooklyn Flowers in Ponsonby, Auckland, New Zealand. And we have seen the shops around us in that little street over the last 7 years, because it's been a similar amount of time. Like, some businesses come and go. A lot of them close their doors. We obviously had COVID through many years of this time as well. It's been a tough time in business, right? A tough time in the world. And we've seen people come and go, and like, I think for sustainable business, for sustainable success, it really is about staying in the game. It really is about making smart business decisions. It really is about alignment. It really is about all of the things that I've talked about today. Like, all of these lessons combined, I think, is the key to sustainable long-term success. But what I really wanted to share is, like, staying in the game. Like, when you can view this in lots of different ways, right? Like, one idea and one part of this is like you believing in yourself wholeheartedly, believing in your dream, believing in your vision, believing in the feeling that you have, the vision board that you have. Like, I have this really beautiful big vision. I've shared this on the podcast before. I've always had this really beautiful big vision, and it scares me as hell sometimes. And that's perfect. That means it's the right thing. And there's been times when I'm like, but like, is that for me? Or I've wobbled, or I've questioned that, or I've had moments of doubt. That's normal. That's part of the human experience. That's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's nothing to say, stop, go back, do not pass go, right? That's a part of the game. And it goes back to that resilience piece as well. It's like, come back to showing up over and over and over and over and over again for it, but really building in more belief and worthiness in yourself. I've shared this on the podcast before, and many clients, it's one of my favorite quotes. It's got me through so many of those wobbly moments, that you wouldn't have the vision and the dream if it wasn't for you to live out. So the fact that you have that vision, the fact that you can feel that and see that, the fact that you want that and desire that, the fact that that is your vision, then it means that it's yours to live out. No one else has the exact same vision or dream as you. And that's part of it. And, there's times where I'm like, yeah, but like, I've just coached and I've just or finished my training course. And I'm sure lots of these other people that have just trained with me want to do the same thing or have the same vision, but they don't, not even in the same industry. They don't necessarily. And certainly, and that's only a really small percentage of the population. Many people won't have the same vision and dream as you, and that's okay. And there'll be naysayers. There will be people that don't get it. There'll be people in your world that you love and you trust that just aren't in business and aren't in the entrepreneurship game and don't agree with the things, don't choose, not necessarily agree, but don't choose to do the things that you do. And it takes courage to put yourself out there. It takes courage to show up consistently for your dream and your vision. And that is a huge part of it. Maybe I should also say that this last lesson is about courage. It's about doing the scary thing over and over again. It's about stretching that comfort zone. It's about building that belief in yourself and your vision over and over and over again, and coming back to that as much as you need to, as much as you can. Really is going to be supportive all the time, but especially in those wobbly moments, because there will be people that don't get it. There'll be people that you just don't have these kind of business conversations with. This is why I wanted to do the podcast as well, so that there's a space for this conversation, because I certainly don't have it with everyone in my personal life. There'll be people that choose a different path to you. There'll be people that choose a safer route. There'll be people that don't understand the choices that you're making, that don't understand the courage and the bravery that it takes to put yourself out there and to create something on your own for yourself for the greater good. There'll be lots of people that don't understand that. There certainly will be people that do, and they're your kind of people. And you'll learn where to have those conversations as well. You'll learn that along the way. But really, believe in yourself, believe in that vision, believe that if you've got that vision, it's there for a reason, it's yours to live out. And the wobbles are okay. It's all part of the journey. It's not a reason to stop or slow down or go back. And we really want to stay in the game, right? And so other examples or ways that you can view this one is like, for example, if you're in the launch of a program, let's say, or an offering of yours, is to stay in the game, is to like when you're hearing crickets, when you're not seeing the results, when, you're not getting the engagement or whatever it might be, not getting the results that you really want in your business, stay in the game. Stay in the game. Yeah, maybe pivot or tweak things slightly, but stay in the game. This also means like don't jump around strategies, don't jump around offers, don't think about, I have to create something more and more and more and more and more and new stuff and pivoting and changing all of the time. I don't think that that's smart business either. Stay in the game instead. Work the strategies until they work. Yeah. And thinking about business as the long term. This is like some of these all weaving together now, like, making sure that you're evolving your business so that it serves you in different seasons of your life. It's really about playing the longer game. So building assets, seeing, in that first year in business, when you're really pouring so much time and effort and love and investment into learning good business, into foundations, into setting things up, into creating more assets, like build on that, know that that's part of the thing and stay in the game. It's really about building on these things. We are still fine-tuning and tweaking things years on in my business as a coach and in our flower shop business. It really is about staying in the game, tweaking and like making little tweaks and learning and growing as you need to as a human, as you need to for online business, as marketing, as different trends, as different different things happen. It's so important to be on the pulse with that. But really it's about not giving up at the end of the day. Staying in the game, believing in yourself, believing in your vision, believing in your gifts, believing that if you have the desire, then it's absolutely possible for you, that it's for you. And courage is going to be one of the most important ingredients in business. One of the most important ingredients in life, I think. Living, a purposeful, soul-led life, living an expansive life. It is, so, so important. All right, my loves, let's do a bit of a recap. The first, I need to go back to my notes. The quote that I shared, remember, success isn't about strategy. It's about who you become. Number one lesson was you have to go first. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait to be ready. Don't wait for the perfect scenario or timing or circumstances. You have to go first. Number two, show up for your dream over and over and over again. Build that resilience, obviously. Build it in the trenches. And remember that things are going to shift and change around you, and you've got to stay in that game to keep showing up for it. Learn good business. Learn some beautiful foundations, create some beautiful foundations for yourself, but apply it to yourself. Apply it to yourself. No cookie cutter business stuff around here, please. Your authenticity, your soul gifts are your greatest gifts, are your greatest assets, are your greatest marketing tools, are your greatest sales strategy. It's you, it's your offer, it's your essence. Like that is you, that is your offer. And that's more than enough. It's a beautiful thing. It's magnetic. Dial that right up, hone in on it, shine a light on it, do the work that you need to do to allow yourself to really show up as your most authentic self, and it's going to be beautiful. Alrighty, number 5, continue to work on yourself. Do the inner work. No amount of strategy is ever going to trump this, right? Inner work and outer work, not just one or the other. Business your way. Remember, there's loads of different strategies. They all work if you work them. There's lots of different business models. They all work if you work them. But it really depends on you and your authenticity, your season of life, your capacity, etc. allow yourself to evolve your business over time as well. That's going to really support you to thrive as a human and going to support different seasons of your life. That is so important. And that's a huge part of why we want to do this as well, right? So business your way. And lastly, believe in yourself, believe in your vision, and stay in the game. Make sure you've got lots and lots of courage, that you're continuing to strengthen and flex that courage muscle. It takes courage to do so. And that's a huge part of it. That's an important part of it. And remember that it's about the person that you become in the process. Yeah. Remember the vision that's greater than you. That's about service, that it's about soul, that's about, so much more than just metrics or numbers or whatever it might be that you're thinking of. Remember, it's far greater than that, and you'll be in it for the long haul. All right, my loves, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your favorite lessons. Let me know your key takeaways. Let me know what you think. I want to hear it. I would love to hear. Leave a comment in the description or flick me a DM. Would love to hear from you, my loves.